Hello, everybody. Welcome to Really Weird Shit on Steroids.
We are glad to be here again.
As always. This is Laura Lee Mystica and Daniel Flowerdew here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our videos and comment away.
And turn up the playback speed. Now, I told you to do that last time at the end of the show. I'm like, that's one of the stupidest things you've ever done. Why would you tell them to turn up at the end? And then Daniel said, well, the next time they watch it.
Yeah, you just have to watch it over
That's
again.
Right, that's right. So
yeah, once you finish it and, you're reminded to do the playback speed, you just have to start it back over and turn the playback speed.
It makes it much more fun. And you get through it quick.
Definitely.
So we got some fun stuff today. Lots of fun, crazy stuff that turns fun. So that's the theme of the day. Crazy stuff that can turn fun. Crazy, scary stuff. Okay? So first of all, we will do the magic pen.
The pen that never dies.
At some point in time it will. Okay. Now it's on this side.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see. And did we put this on there? There's a piece of tape on there to hold. I don't know. Anyway, it's empty. Empty as can be. Okay.
I don't remember putting that tape on there.
I don't either. I don't know why there's tape on it. I just noticed it.
And it's still alive.
It's still alive. Tape and all.
That is just Abby normal.
It is so Abby normal. Oh, man. Okay. Now, really weird shit on the farm.
Yay!
First of all, we have the deer story. And, well, I was gathering sorrow over here by, I don't know if you can even see it, back over here. Yeah. And I heard this noise, and I turned and looked, and there's a deer standing right next to me, like, I don't know, like this far away.
So just a few feet?
Yeah.
Just a few feet?
Just a few feet. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I'm like, so I keep singing, and he just kind of saunters around and then walks away, and I'm like, holy crap, that was close. So then a couple of days ago, I'm sitting in front of the garden gate, and I'm in a zero gravity chair, and I'm just laying there chilling. And then I was thinking about going after some dark lords, so I got all egged up, and I went bam, and with my hands too. Okay, so and there's a deer and then I look over. I heard this noise. There's a deer standing like 2 or 3 feet away, very close, and he just looks at me like, well, that was weird.
Didn't get spooked, didn't try to run away.
With the hands doing this and my bam!
Loud noise.
Yeah, and he just looked at me like, well, that was weird. So he kind of saunters up a little bit, and then here comes this teeny tiny baby. It's like, oh, this is interesting. And then the mom goes ahead a little bit, and the little one was eating something, and then he looks up and he's like, oh, I'm falling behind. So he goes, scampers away to her. And I'm just like, the look he gave me was just like, really? Not scared. I was shocked that, yeah, that was a shocker. Okay. So then we had the squirrel that was getting into my peanuts and ate the lid off of the peanuts. And I came out, peanuts were all over, everything was knocked over. And then there was little teeny tiny plastic bits all over because mostly in one spot, because he had to, eat them and spit them out, okay? And I'm like, well, crap. So I got that all cleaned up, and then 2 days later, I go out there, and there's peanut butter. I use peanut butter in the mouse traps in the winter. Peanut butter, little tiny jar, on the ground, half eaten, and the lid was eaten. Okay? And so I have to, again, pick up all the little shards so the chickens don't eat plastic. And I was telling my husband, and he says, "Oh, I saw him. He came out of their pen, and he was just like all happy, and he was flipping his tail like in a figure eight, and he was just almost
In
like
heaven,
like he was on drugs."
Kind of reminded me, when you were explaining that to me, it reminded me of the cartoon Dumbo the Elephant, when the rat drinks the absinthe. And all of a sudden, he's just like looping around and just, oh, hey, what's that? Oh, I wish I could have seen it. That would have been so hilarious.
I know. I've got to get a webcam out here. So then I haven't seen any bees for like a month, and that's really sad because I've got some things that are blossoming that need to be bee-ized.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes over and he saw
one honeybee.
one honeybee, but that's better than none that I haven't seen. So
yeah,
that's kind of
after being out in the yard all day, working on something, just one, just one
bee. So,
and this lawn is totally covered in yarrow and all kinds of flowering plants right now.
Lots of things they could
tons
come
of
after.
daisies, so
and I've got
big
stuff
flowers
in the garden to attract them, and they're like, not there.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those little teeny tiny ones, but maybe 2 or 3, not very many.
Yeah, the one that I saw was Chunky. He was a very happy bee.
So then I've got six fruit trees, apple and plum trees, and nothing on them this year, nothing. And 8 blueberry plants, nothing. And 2 grapevines, they're just barely there. And I haven't had any fruit for 3 years. Now I know that every other year, they have a bumper crop, and then you won't have many, and then you'll have, middle size. So that's not it. 3 years in a row. And then and these bushes are like 15 years old. It's not like they're and they haven't grown any. They're just tiny. And I water them. I feed them. I give them lots of good. Yeah, I don't know.
And plants grow everywhere out here.
Oh, everywhere.
That she doesn't intend to grow. But,
yes.
So the soil's healthy.
That's right.
There's good stuff here.
That's right. And speaking of when I said we've had a stellar summer, it's still green out there. It's the middle of July, and there's still a lot of green places. There's some that are not, but a lot of green places. So this has been a stellar year for interesting things.
Yeah.
So then finish the story on the well pump. Okay, we started that last time. Okay, that's where we call the guys over because the lights were shorting out, and we could hear the pump going on all the time. So they come out. They said, okay, well, we gotta do some other things. We'll come out next week. Then in the meantime, it was shorting out bad. They said to call the another company that does the pressure gauge. And so they come, and they said that for some reason, they just came to check it, and they said that they would come back later. So we got all this stuff going on, and they said, yeah, they'll come back later. Well, the well pump, or the pressure gauge guys come, and they said that, yeah, you got problems there. We gotta fix. And while they were there, something happened, and they actually saw a crack in the pipe. So they went and they didn't have the parts. They went and got that. They said if that busted, we would have a horrible flood. It could have been really bad. So then we're still getting flickering lights and stuff. We have to wait for the well pump guys to come. And when they came, they the information on their record said that it was like 300 feet. It's like, no, I think it's only like 30 feet. It's not that deep. They said, well, we'll see. Well, they came. It was 30 feet. But what they found was that the tube that it was in was rubbing against something, and so rubbing against the wires, and so that's what was making things short out. And why were we having flickering lights? And I said, so what would happen if that totally shorted out? And they said, well, we're not sure, but it wouldn't be good.
We're not sure, but oh, hey, another bee.
Oh my gosh.
It's over by the daisies.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Okay.
2 bees. Okay.
2 bees. Two bees in 2 days.
That's amazing. Okay.
But wow, interesting.
So then it turned out that we had an extra well pump that was for the neighbor's pump when we were working with a neighbor. They said that they would take that in exchange for all their labor and everything. So they put in our pump. It was amazing. And so the moral to the story is that things that could have been catastrophes and over the top, we could have died on some, really, really bad, were flipped so that best case scenario happened. It's like we know exactly what's going on there. We know how everything's fixed.
Yeah, and Alvin was a big part of that.
He was a big part of that. And he continues to be a part of that. That happened just a few days before something other real catastrophe happened. And
if you want to learn more info about Alvin, we do talk about him in the last video. So
yeah,
go back and listen to it in double speed.
That's right. He was so cute, and his story is so cute. So then, and this story is in my newsletter, so go check out the newsletter. But I'm supposed to meet Ronnie, my Ghostbuster partner, at a restaurant. And I get a phone call right before she gets there, and it's my husband, and he says, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm like, "What happened?" And he said, "All the fluffy butts are dead." I'm like, "What? What?" And he said, "Yeah, you better come home." I'm like, so I call Ronnie and say, "We got to cancel this meeting." So I come home, mayhem in the fluffy butt pen. The other ones weren't affected, but what my husband said is that he went out there and there was this big dog that looked half German Shepherd, half Irish Setter, half wolf, half, I don't know. He said it was the darndest thing. And he said when he saw him, he tried to corner the dog, and he said he got back over to the fence that he got in from and jumped or climbed over it. And when he did, it bent the metal to the fence. So there was a lot of pressure on there. And then he goes away, finds him like an hour later on the other side of the back of the property. And then he kind of looked, and we have a lot of groundhogs, and they were just going nuts, okay? So I'm like, what the hell? So I go in there, and it's just a mess. There is dead chickens everywhere, and when I went to pick them up, they were still warm. So it was just heartbreaking.
And how many were there?
There were 9.
9 chickens, including Little Miss Loco, who was was she the oldest chicken you had at the time? She was the oldest chicken,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the senior.
Yeah.
And they, the story is there. It's just gut-wrenching. And on my way home, I was thinking, somehow this is going to turn out well. I don't know how, but somehow it will. And I was just real chill and calm. I'm like, okay, that's really nice that I'm chill and I'm calm since I'm driving. But what what the hell is going on here?
And then one thing I also want to say to clarify, because I've had a lot of people be like, oh, so does she not have any chickens now? It was half.
Half the flock.
It was half of what you
Yeah.
had. It was all the chickens that were in this one specific run, but there's 2 other runs. And like you said, none of them were impacted. So
it was just heartbreaking.
yeah,
and
it was bad.
And you came and helped me clean up all the feathers. I felt like I needed to do that and get that energy of the dog out of there. And we were trying to figure out what kind of dog this was, and we just kept getting weird things. And the thing that came up was skinwalker.
Mm-hmm.
So we started calling it a dog walker.
Yeah.
And so Alvin came in and totally flipped the scenario on that. That doesn't mean it wasn't challenging and hard, but
and really,
totally,
really sad.
Really
sad.
Yeah. And so if you read, go back and get my newsletter, because it has the whole story. It has pictures of them. I had pictures of them when I took them out to the Stargate.
Yeah.
Daniel had the idea to put them, because we had a rod in the middle, to put them in a circle around so they look like a star. And the reason I put them there is like, okay, they might as well feed a family of foxes or something. I don't know. And so you came back 2 days later and they were all gone.
Yeah.
So that was kind of ending task on that. So,
and if you do want to see the video of what the massacre was like the day of, with more information, like Laura Lee said, it's on her newsletter. There is also a video that she posted on her YouTube channel, and we'll put the link to that in the description as well.
Okay, yeah, because it is a sad story.
It is, but it's important, and it did lead to some pretty really important information.
Because it took us like a month and a half to figure out that was not a normal dog. Yeah. In fact, somebody, the neighbors said, oh, I think, there's a missing dog, across the lake, maybe it's then showed us a picture, and my husband said that's not the dog. Nobody's seen it since then.
No, and the picture, the dog picture that they sent looked like a total sweetheart.
Oh yeah, it was.
He wouldn't have done that. You could tell by his look. You just
This thing was batshit crazy and just crazy. So that led us to. I think we should do the fluffy butt tales later. We have some fun stories to tell you, but we'll tell you after.
Well, the thing is like what it led us to is a huge ass soul hunt that we ended up calling the Mad Dog God Web. And for information on that, we are going to be, Laura Lee's going to put it on her newsletter. So if you're not already on her newsletter, go and watch that. Go and, sign up for it and check it out. Because it's kind of a long story. And, it was very important. So we're going to read a little bit of it to you guys here. But if you want the full story, you'll have to go to the newsletter.
Okay, so this mad dog was discovered on May 20th after the fluffy butt attack. And then it took us till July the 5th to actually take care of the dog. And what we found is we call it the Mad Dog God Web, because it was the web that went through the entire universe and was negatively affecting everybody and affecting your choices.
It was a corrupted version of the web of life, where everyone's supposed to be connected and work together and help each other out. This took it to the next level and was like, oh yeah, you can help some people, but then you're going to get smacked.
Yeah.
All through the same.
I'm just going to read its skills and agenda. The web had 9 webmasters, and they were all sentient AI and were a 9.8 threat. Then all the webmasters have blood sacrifices in all their webs. The web is in and interfaced with all bodies of any kind. It can't interface with the soul, but it can insulate it and mess with your connection. So it can't mess with your soul, but it can like insulate you from it. Okay? Then...
And by everybody, we're even talking like trees,
Yeah.
rocks, lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't connect to their soul.
Not just, physical, like, animals, but yeah.
And this Mad Dog God Web was 100% behind all skinwalkers and their cousins. So the dog walker was a cousin. And it brainwashes, commands, compels everyone, and thinks you have to be a part of this web to survive. So everybody stays there. It's like, well, if we're not connected, we're going to die. We're going to be extinct. And that was BS. The AIs and the web of death, and also the corrupted web of life, cause needless pain, suffering, and destruction, and hijacks the web of life and tries to control it. It is not in the donut or in our rehab. So this donut that I got in my backyard that we talked about before, it's not in there, and it's not in our rehabs. So that was really good to know. Yeah. But it's virtually everywhere. They create and maintain control webs that are virtually everywhere. They instigate and amplify frustration, anger, auto-retaliation, separation from your people, ramping up all addictions, and the porn vibe. Very proficient at pataphysics and use people to imagine things and stories to strengthen their control. And proliferates insanity and causes people to lose or give away their soul. So that was key to them. Well, we're just going to have them give it to us, and then we got it. And make you feel stuck with no hope. Efforts to get unstuck make it worse, or nothing changes. And shove-ins in things, mostly AI, and memories and impressions. So you get these AI shove-ins into your memories and stuff. It was just everywhere. It was nasty. And, anyway, it can immobilize you and you think you're protecting yourself. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting.
Yeah, and it is connected in with direct energy weapons, DEWs.
Yeah, okay, that was it. Yeah. So then the skinwalkers, we're trying to see where they came from, and
we've got a little company down there. She's not too close yet, but she's watching us.
Oh, a deer is watching.
Great big deer.
Wants to be in on it. Okay, so the D-monster did not create them, and whoever did not create them for her. They were rivals and wanted them all to herself, all of these skinwalkers. And one of the 9 webmasters made them. And then let's tell them about the extermination. Do you want to tell about the extermination?
Yeah, we'll give you guys a little information about the extermination, but there's a lot of other information on here too. So webmaster categories, you'll have to look at the newsletter for all of that because it is quite important. But I want to push the newsletter and make you guys go and look at it. And there's nothing on here about the extermination.
Yeah, there isn't. Sorry. So it's just, I just think it's important to know that there's a history rewriter, there's a reality and magic flipper, there was a egregore specialist.
I guess you're just going to read the whole thing, huh?
Well, I won't read the whole thing. I'll just read their titles. A currency manipulator and controller. And,
Yes, there is data on each one of them. So, it'll be worth going to check out. And when we did the extermination, it was one day we were just talking, Laura Lee did a timeline that affected everyone, that amplified our abilities, and hours before they were supposed to kick in, I got the intel, hey, we can take these buggers out now. And so we went in, we did our thing, we took out all the webmasters, took out all those corrupted webs, and we did replace them. We replaced them with truth, justice, and integrity, of course, and also new templates that would help people to work through their shit, to see it for what it is, to move forward. And again, there's going to be more details in the newsletter. But I think it took us like an hour officially, like that last final extermination.
Yeah.
And this was like months of work, right? Or
well, from
no,
the
it was about a month and a half.
From the 20th of May when,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's...
So now we have, I think
stories.
this is our final segment for the weird shit,
Yes.
for the weird shit on the farm
On the
segment.
farm,
This
yes.
is the last one here.
Okay. So...
And this is fun. So back to the fluffy butts, the ones who started all of this.
After a few days, I started getting connection to them, and they started talking to me. Okay. So this happened on... So they were killed on the 20th of May, and this is on May 28th. And here's a note from Daniel. He says, hey, I wanted to run something by you today. I was thinking about the fluffy butts, and it seems when I tune into them that they talk back instantly. And I was thinking, aren't those birds... Oh, this is me saying it to him, sorry. Aren't those birds supposed to be in their cosmic training school? Cosmic cleanup crew training school, because that's what I was getting, that they were over there in their school. And then I get that the school is in the donut. What the quack? And then Daniel says, what? That would explain why they felt so close when I was there. They are the first to be trained. Two, I'm hearing.
Yeah, first was to be trained in the donut. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And he says, that is interesting. And then I said, yeah, I'm glad that you get this info is correct. And to have them be the first in this new training school, it makes a whole lot of sense. It seems that they're having a lot of firsts here lately. We need to figure out exactly what is going on in that donut. I thought it was just a neutral zone, but I guess it's expanding its capabilities. And then Daniel said, well, power neutral does have an intelligence, so I'm not overly surprised. And I said, yeah, it's important to know what's going on in there. There seems to be a lot of playing too. And, oh, that's what he said. And then I said, okay, get this. I debated on telling my husband what we got about the chickens in the cosmic CCC.
Yeah,
School.
cosmic cleanup crew. It's tricky.
Yeah. Well, I keep wanting to say training in there, because they're in training in this school.
It's a little tongue twister.
In the donut. And I decided to do it when I was cleaning out the pens. And he said, yeah, I feel them too. And that was when, let's see, and the one that was in the doghouse, he felt her and said, I was just checking in and see where I died. And this is so odd for my husband to be saying something like that. And then Daniel laughed and he said, yeah, it sounds like them. That's too funny and weird. Okay, so then on June 6th, I said, today the Fluffies were in and out, but wanted me to not be sad, and that they were having a wonderful time in CCC guide school, and they were still around. Come and go, and I guess that's lots of field trip. So then on the 17th, there's a Fluffy report. It was very empty and quiet, and I questioned what I was feeling, and I heard like a recording. We're not home, be back soon. And I laughed. I checked, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. And they were very quiet again the other day, and I tried to tune into them and got another auto reply. Sorry, nobody home. Be back soon. I think they were on another field trip that day. So then...
They go on a lot of field trips. They have a lot of fun in this class.
Oh. So, then they were out on a field trip yesterday.
You guys can all see the little deer now. You see, she's right behind us now.
Which way?
On Laura Lee's right shoulder.
Oh.
Stage left.
Oh, yeah, she is. Right.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Likes to hang out with us. Okay. Then on the 21st, they were out on a field trip yesterday, and I was making chicken treats and thinking how I put half of the ingredients in there now when I heard, I didn't know you put so much work into our treats. Sorry. And I snickered and I thought, how did you get in here? And I heard, I thought this was kind of an emergency because they weren't supposed to come in unless it was an emergency. And later, after I was writing this, I heard, we were learning all about angles of compassion. Later, I was crushing the last egg of theirs that was left over, and I heard, and I was feeling sad, and I heard, you don't have to save it, we're here. And I was thinking, I thought you couldn't come in unless it was an emergency. And they said, this is kind of an emergency though. We didn't want you to feel bad. And I thought, how did you get in my head and hear my thoughts and my actions? And then I heard, it's part of our training. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. And then Daniel was cooking some of his eggs, and one of them said, oh, that's mine. And you said it was Christmas Girl. Mm-hmm. And you said, how do you, and I said, wait.
So I asked Christmas Girl, like, how do you know that this is your egg? Oh, I don't know, but it's mine.
That's right.
None of the other chickens tried to,
identify him, but she did. That's so funny. So then on July 2nd, they said something really funny, and I was in the kitchen, but I can't remember what it was. Also, when I went out to let the crazy crew out of the run last evening, they were chatting and said how much they loved it here and how honored they were to be Cosmic Cleanup Crew Guide School. And then they said, we know who you are. Today it was getting really quiet out there, and I heard, on vacation, and I kind of scratched my head. How could they be on vacation when they're supposed to be in Cosmic Cleanup Crew Training School? And I heard, a work vacation.
It's a work vacation.
So then on the 3rd, I was making treats and singing chicken butts, ba 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 ba. And then the other one was chicken butts, I love you. Yes, I do. And I heard, we love you too. And we are so happy to be here now, doing things we couldn't even imagine while we were in our chicken bodies. Thank you. And then I found a Millie egg in the Crazy Crew nest bags, and I watched for a minute, and then it said, have a nice day, and laughed, and then I heard, you're funny. So, and it wasn't the chicken, it was from the fluffy butt. And I said, so are you? And they said, we got it from you. So then on the 7th, I was singing, love the peeps, love the peeps. Well, looking into the run and the donut. And then I blew them a kiss, and they said, she blew us a kiss. That's new. And then on my way back from the garden, they said, wee, as they slid into the egg and said, we gotta go back to school now.
Selective schooling, huh?
Yes, exactly. That was so funny. Okay, and then on the 9th, it was very quiet, and I heard an autorespondent. we're not here. And then lights are out, nobody's home.
Yep, selective.
And I laughed and I heard, we're back. And I said, you're funny. And they said, so are you. We learned it from you. They said that again. And I wondered how it all worked. And they said, we're learning how to talk human. There is a device installed in us to understand human talk. And I saw some kind of a translator in all of them. And now it makes sense how they can talk back. And it's like you said, it's like in some of the secret space programs, there's different
translator device, or a there was a specific word that I used and I can't remember it now. But
so people of different analogies and species, you can understand them. Well, we got those in my chicken, so that's how I can make them talk. Okay, and then the last one was on July 14th. After locking them up, the fluffies came out and they were sliding down the donut egg. And one of them said, nighty night, sleepy tight, don't let the black widows bite. And I checked to see if I heard that right and got yes. And it has something to do with our next project, which we're calling the Stinkin' Ship, which is like off the charts. So that is the end of
the fluffy butts.
Fluffy butts.
But there is one more thing that we overlooked on our We're Just on the Farm segment, and this has to do with something that I experienced just yesterday. We were out in the walnut trees cleaning them up, and I was, of course, talking to them as I'm trimming because, you know, I appreciate them. And one of the trees, I kept hearing the song Willow from one of the Beatles. I don't remember which. He made it for his wife who was dying of cancer. A really sweet song. But I just kept thinking about it, and I was like, why do I keep thinking of the word Willow while I'm working on you? And it was like, oh, I like that name. You can call me Willow. Willow the walnut tree.
That was so funny.
And then I realized that your fluffy butts are infecting everything here with just that senseless, amazing humor. And it's always been here a little bit, but it's like amping up now. It's getting stronger. And it was just an absolute hoot. We were both cracking up about it while I was working on it.
Well, it was making things lighter for us because it was hot and we were tired. And so to have amusement from the trees.
Yeah, it was needed. It was needed.
So I think we can say this officially ends Weird Shit on the Farm. Okay.
Yay!
Yay! So, we're working on another, on this next newsletter, we'll have all the Mad Dog Web stuff in there. And then we have a party every year on July 14th. And it's a Hal holiday. And what we do is make a list of all of the accomplishments we've had in the last year. And so then after we did that, one of the members of our HRT group said, yeah, well, we need to have the list. You forgot about the list of all of the accomplishments we want in the next year. So I would put out to you to maybe make a list of all the ones. It's not, you can call Helen and you can drink root beer and eat popcorn while you're doing it, but it's a Hal holiday. It's a Hal thing, and I think it can be really helpful to go back and see what you've done, and especially for the things you want to have. So
yeah, and look at the things that you've accomplished. You know, if you've had sessions with us, look at the things that you've done in those sessions and the things that have changed since then. You know, and anything that you've done on yourself, like any sort of timeline work or implant removals. You know, so often we see that stuff as a daunting task. I know I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I look at the timeline and I'm like, oh, do I want to spend 2 hours doing this? It always works out well and it's always super fun, but it's good to see the accomplishments that we get from that, because then it's like, oh, you know what? That didn't take me as much time as I thought it would, and it had life-changing effects.
Well,
look at things that you've overcome, you know.
yes, and it gives you spark to do more,
Mhm.
because you're like, okay, I didn't think I could ever do that,
And I did, and I did
so
do it.
screw you, losers.
Yeah.
I did it anyway.
Exactly.
So that takes us into
Oh,
Yes?
one more thing I'm hearing here too. Another way that you can celebrate the holiday is by joining us and watching the Skeleton of Cadavra finally.
Yes.
Uh,
We watched it last night.
Give us a comment. Any of you who have actually watched Skeleton of Cadavra, the first one or the second one or both, tell us in the comments below if you watched it and tell us how stupid it was, okay? Because
It is like the stupidest movie I've ever seen.
but it's so
It's
good.
so funny.
It's so funny. And if you haven't watched it, that is a good way to celebrate the
Yes,
holiday as
that
well.
would totally do it. We were laughing we've seen it 3 or 4 times, and we were still
Together,
laughing. Yes.
yeah, and that's not including all the times that we've seen it separately too. Oh, so good.
So, yes.
So,
He's got an announcement to make.
yeah, I do. I actually have 2 announcements to make.
Okay.
First off is I am starting to make more videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in, asking me questions or reaching out, they're not edited. They're just raw, unfiltered, just, I make the video and post it. Hopefully I'll be doing YouTube lives as well once I figure out how to do that. Because we have so much information, so many asshole hunts that we do, so much information that has to get out there, that we, even if our videos are over an hour long, we can't fit everything into it. So this is going to be another avenue for people to ask questions and, get some more information. Some of the videos will be like a glossary of terms that we use, like shove-ins, shove-ons, implants, ET, centaur, just going into some of the words that we use in our sessions.
Why are they doing that? What does that mean?
What does that mean? So if you have any of
get it.
those, feel free to send them to me as well. And I'll be posting it on my website as well. I already have it all planned out to make a blog that's like a glossary of terms that I'll update and maybe do a short on, a few of them. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is I have been asked multiple times to do an online course on kinesiology, muscle testing. So Laura Lee was gracious enough to give me her class that she would teach. She gave me the syllabus for it. So I'm going to be using that and then adding my own little twist to it as well. And I'm going to be making an online course for the people who want to participate. I haven't quite figured out the price yet or the date that I'm going to do it. I'm working on all the background stuff, but that is coming. So be sure to watch and participate. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to have it set up too that if you can't be there the day of, you can also watch the recordings. So yeah.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
I'll have his videos on my channel too. So
Which I'm very grateful for. It's very kind of you.
yes.
It's
all my 200 viewers.
Hey, that's more than my 35.
Well, you haven't been doing it for 10 freaking years either.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We just laugh at all of this, all of the crazy things that, like when he was trying to sell my books at that venue,
yes.
and people look at it and go, "Oh, I'll have to do that." Okay.
Did I talk about that in our videos?
I think you did.
I might have.
You might have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
getting blackballed.
The entire event, I was clearing curses off of them, and the only book I had was Got Ghosts. Right?
Yeah.
Kept it very simple.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
Easy. And I would have people walk up and hold it up and be like, oh, this is exactly what I need. And one lady even started to cry, just like, this is exactly what I need. And then her facial structure just changed. She got really cold, put the book down, and walked away.
And you're
It
like,
happened every time. That entire event, I didn't sell a single book.
You think we're being blackballed?
Yeah.
We're going to take those buggers down, I tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of buggers, we found a new acronym. There's screw you losers, up yours losers, and now there's down yours losers, which you might be getting somebody at the top of the food chain, so there's nowhere to go up, so it filters down.
Yep.
So add that to your list. SYL, UYL, and
DYL.
DYL.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say in the Screw You Losers too, I've had a couple people like, oh, I'll say it, and then nothing changes. How many times do you say, oh, just once? No, you're saying this as a declaration to yourself as well. You're taking your power back. And you've got to say it sometimes 50 times.
And with emotion.
With emotion.
Screw you losers. Yeah. It has to be...
You have to feel it.
I'm not putting it up. I'm not putting up with this. I am not.
Tap into your hardcore star. Tap into your Suma and say, no, this is enough. Screw you losers. Up yours losers. We're done. This bullshit's done. Down yours losers. This shit's done. You've got to say it with energy.
With passion.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to say it 20 times a day.
Yeah. Or 20 times before getting out of bed.
That's true. But it's better than not saying it and having the buggers mess with you.
Exactly. And if something becomes too much to handle or it's too overwhelming, schedule a session with one of us. You can also work with your pendants. You know, yesterday my right ankle does this weird thing where if I wear shoes for too long, it starts to hurt really bad to the point where I can't even walk. And I asked my pendant last night, hey, help to balance the energies there. Help me to take care of this. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I've tried everything. Laura Lee even gave me a reflexology session last night, which was amazing.
But then after you couldn't walk.
But I still couldn't walk. I was like hobbling around with my walking stick like, okay, yeah, we got this. And today it's a lot better. So there's a lot of things that when we get overwhelmed, we can ask the rocks, we can ask home team to help us out. Even if we don't know where to start, hey, I need some help. Please, get the ball rolling. Help me out here. I don't know what I need to remove. I don't know what's messing with me, but I know this is not okay. I just need help. And then take a few deep breaths.
Exactly. Then take deep breaths and wait for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just with the SYL, Screw You Losers, just for maybe somebody that doesn't know what that is, what that does is put cryogenetics eggs with the star spinning, goes into those assholes and puts truth and justice juice in them. Okay? They do not like that. It kills most of them. Yeah. Okay? So we got that. That's a weapon of choice.
Exactly.
Okay?
It is. Yep. And then when you do the up yours, it goes up the food chain. The down yours, it goes down.
Goes down the food chain. Exactly.
Yep. So the trickle down method that actually works.
That's right. So then we got some more weird shit. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is something kind of fun that's happened to me lately. So I was heading out to a client's house and I was talking to Laura Lee. This is right when we discovered the stinking ship. And I was getting intel on it and I was sharing it with her. All of a sudden, the GPS in my car shut off. It froze. It froze. I could still see it, but it froze. And so I'm driving along and I'm like, okay, it still says 5 miles, turn on such and such road. Well, I see the road go by and I'm like, isn't that the road I was supposed to go on? It still says I have a while to go. Okay, I'll just keep going. And then when we finally got off the phone, I was like, okay, something's not right here. It says the same exact amount of time to get there, same amount of time, And
it's been 15 minutes and it says
15 minutes while going 60 miles per hour. I was getting some pretty good distance in there. So, got that working again, got flipped back around. Yesterday on the way here, it happened again. I decided to do some work on 2 of my friends that I love dearly on the way up here. And one of them, as soon as I started clearing her up, and I wasn't doing a full session, I was driving, okay? Yeah. I was doing what was safe for me to do at the time.
He was multitasking.
Multitasking, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yes, you are.
But as I was cleaning her up, all of a sudden, the music in my car got really raspy, and it would not go back to normal. And then the GPS froze again. Granted, I only used the GPS to get out here to give me an estimated time of arrival, so I can tell you, hey, I'll be there, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, but don't you use it other places when you're trying to...
Yeah, but not to get here.
Okay, yeah. That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't need the GPS, but this time. But yeah, that's happened to me now a few times where I'll be working on someone and my phone will freeze or something will shut off or music that I'm playing in the background will get raspy. It even happened to my TV a couple of days ago when I was working on a client. And that's something that I've never really had done, and it happens every time. So yeah, pay attention to that yourself too. When you get energy moving, when you get shit, cleared up, see what changes around you. On this note though, okay, so I do float tanks, right? I absolutely love them. And every time I'm in there, when I have a major shift, something happens. Like one of the times, they had this big suction cup thing on one of the doors because the door is a flat wall, so they need the suction cup to grab a hold of it and open it. And I didn't notice it was there. I was in the float tank. I did this huge clearing. I think I was doing a timeline. And then as soon as I sealed it, the suction cup fell off of the thing and hit the ground and made this loud, obnoxious noise. And people in other rooms heard it as well.
I bet that scared the crap out of you.
It did. It did. I was in this deprivation tank, no sound, no light. All of a sudden, crash. I actually got up and opened the door and looked around inside, like, did something break in here? And then another time I was doing that, and as soon as I locked it and sealed it, the lights turned on and the session was over. The float session was over. So I don't think I'm the only one that experiences cool, weird shit like that. Well, so let us know in the comments below.
What your weird shit is.
Yeah, what's your weird shit?
Inquiring minds want to know.
If you can't tell, we're really trying to push people to comment.
Yes,
comment.
I know the day will come when my books will sell. I thought they would by now. I mean, the ghost book's been out for 15 years, so or more. So I know it's going to happen. It just can be, it's like, should I try to fix that or will it be useless energy spent? But I think the more of these assholes that we take out, like the webmasters and now we're the stinking ship, it makes things easier. It's hard to explain. It's like not as hideous as it used to be, and things that could be hideous, and especially if you have it's like if you call on Alvin, you have to have a certain purity level quotient for him to come in and help you flip this situation. You can't be a total asshole and say, "Oh, I'm going to have him." No, you've got to be. Your heart's got to be in the right place.
Which none of you watching this are,
would, yeah.
I don't think any of you count as assholes, so all 200 of you. Yeah. You're all good people.
Exactly.
But your moms and your aunts and whatnot, they might not be able to.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
So Alvin's there for you. Just make sure your heart's in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like things are easier.
Yeah.
So on that easier note, do you have anything else to add before we sign off?
I really can't think of anything. There's always so much to say. There's always so much to do. So just onwards and forwards, and don't let the bastards win. You're doing a good job. We're all making a difference here.
We are.
And
we clan together, and we're doing it. We're kicking them.
And, okay, one thing I am hearing to say here. If you need a session and you keep thinking to yourself, oh, I just, I don't want to bother them. Get over yourself. That's how we pay our bills.
Exactly. And we have a lot of bills.
Well, I do. Reach out and, schedule something. If you're really needing a session or you really want one and you're having all these negative, oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I can't do it right now. Oh, it's just so scary. Screw you losers, up yours losers, down yours losers. I'm going to reach out.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out.
And find a way.
Yeah, just keep it simple. I'm going to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find a way. Well,
and we can work things out, payment plans or whatever.
Yeah.
So don't let that be a detour.
No.
Very good. That's a good note to end on.
Yes.
So everybody, bye.
Ta-ta for now.